people, can you hear me? Holy shnikey. What just happened? Oh my goodness. Welcome to Post Game Whatever this is. And thank you very much for the music. I almost hit this thing. Oh, hold on. I almost hit this thing there. Hey, listen, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I'm looking at a couple things. As you can imagine, things were a little scrambled here at the Campbell household following Mr. Freddie Freeman ending Game 1 of the World Series with a walk-off grand slam. I say what now? A walk-off grand slam. Indeed. Fredward, good work, sir. I guess the ankle is feeling better. Thank you so much again for joining us. And we have, of course, special guests with us, as always. We have an invite out to some Yankees fans to come on if they want to, and we shall see if they are able to. And I'm excited about that. But for right now, we're pleased, super pleased, to welcome back a Central Coast sportscasting legend, a dear friend, and the man we affectionately call Grandpappy. Please put your hands together for TV's Mitch Massey. There he is, folks.
Oh, God. Colin, you have such a Stephen Colbert feel to you. It's classic. What I do know is that, Colin, back in 1988, how old were you? What grade were you?
I was 14 years old. Very young.
Obviously, this is Kirk Gibson kind of relived
Unbelievable.
the limping ankle and leg and everything. And what was, as soon as the ball left his bat and goes out, what happened to you and everyone else in the room? What was your reaction?
Well, I was joined tonight by two very special guests. Now, the normal special guests, my beloved daughters and wife, are off at a Taylor Swift roller skating party. So they're out of the mix for the end of the game. They were there for the beginning. They saw the early struggles. They saw pitchers duel, and they didn't really feel like they were missing much when they left. But oh boy, they should have hung out. As the great comedian David Tell used to say, things always happen like right after you leave. You should have hung out, man. You should have hung out. It all got crazy after you left. And in this case, it did get crazy. So I was lucky enough to have my friend Amy and her sister Gail came over. Gail visiting from New York, but not a huge baseball fan like Amy. Amy, by the way, loved your appearance, Mitch. And thank you for the kind words you said about her. And so we were very, we were doing all the things. We had rally caps. We had inside out rally caps. We had begging for a hit rally caps. We did all of the things. And Gail looked at us like, she was kind of a primatologist studying a different species. Like, what is it with these baseball fans? What do they think they're affecting? Oh, yeah, no, it worked. It definitely worked. It's my rally cap, I'm sure, that turned the tide. So when it was 2-2, when the Dodgers tied it up, that was good enough. And there had been so many cases in the game earlier on where it seemed like they were just one hit away from taking the lead or breaking it open, and they just couldn't get the big hit, right? It had been kind of a frustrating night. And then obviously the 10th inning was very frustrating too, to watch Jazz Chisholm just do Jazz Chisholm-y things all over the infield. He's running here, he's running there. No one can stop him. We can't whatever. And then boom, they score. Double play ball, maybe. Edmund muffed it, maybe. Whatever. Tough. Can't assume a double play in that situation. But would have been nice to not have to, be playing infield in that situation. These are just little bits. We'll get into some game analysis because I think there was definitely some questionable decisions on both sides tonight that I want your opinion on. But then the Dodgers, all we kept saying was, all we need is one person to get on for Ohtani to get up there. Like, we can do math, just like the Yankees can do math. And so we're like, please, just somebody take a walk, take a whatever. So they got a runner on, after one out. And that was exciting because now we knew, okay, Tommy Edman, whatever you do, don't hit into a double play. Do not. It's like that thing, don't think of an elephant. Okay. You really want them.
How did the elephant show up? Oh,
exactly.
It's the Stay Puft Man thing. Exactly. Was that the first thing you thought of?
Yes. It's like, please, you do not want the double play. And I see a ground ball going up the middle, and I'm like, oh, because with the current camera coverage, you can't tell where the infielders is that going right at a guy, I won't know until they, show the shot. And then it looked like, oh, it might get past that guy. And then it kind of did. And then we were like, okay, now we got something happening. And then, of course, you get a Otani up with, what was it, 2 outs, right? Ninth inning,
One out.
here's 1 out. So, right, 1 out because 2 are on now, right? And he pops 1 out, to left field, a pop out, a fly out. And the Verdugo tumble into the stands ends up playing a huge part in the outcome of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like this is not a rule that I think other baseball fans, unless you're kind of a hardcore fans rules person, like yourself or myself, would know. But when he left the field of play, the runners were each entitled to an extra 90 feet.
Yeah.
Now imagine if there had been a runner on third or something when that happened, that would have been even worse.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, my Amy was excited. She, okay, well, Mookie, second and third, base hit wins it. And I'm like, they're not going to pitch to Mookie. They're not going lefty righty to Mookie in that situation. No. They'll take their chances lefty lefty with Freddie, who, so far triple accepted tonight, has not shown that he has all of the power back. Well, baby, I guess the power is back because Nestor Cortez threw 2 pitches in the game. Those are, I don't know if those qualify as the worst 2 pitches in Yankee history, but they got to be right up there.
And why, Colin, and why are you bringing in a guy? Hasn't pitched for over a month.
I don't get it.
Left-hander down there who has shown some good moments in the postseason. And that's the thing, because when you get on the big stage, everything gets analyzed.
Yeah.
And why was that? And that's a tough one. That's going to be questioned, obviously, for the next, until 5 o'clock tomorrow.
And then we'll have a whole new set of questions after that. But when Freddie hit that ball, my first thought was, oh, God, pop out. Please don't be a pop out or like a fly out or whatever. But then I saw Freddie, before the camera cut to the outfielder, you could see Freddie knew he got it. And I was like, oh, my God. And then
practice
pandemonium. It was just, we're throwing things, we're jumping, we're screaming. And, it was really, really an amazing moment. Oh, and we're getting a phone call live on the air. I don't know that I can take it. It's my beloved sister, Alana. I'll send her the link to the stream. We'll see if we can get her in here and give us
Colin, if I may interject, because we equal opportunity sports show.
Yeah.
The Lakers lead 192 in the 4th.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I just because. Okay, there we go.
That's awesome. Hey, I have another friend who's going to join us real quick. A Yankee fan who I want to get the Yankee perspective on tonight. It's very exciting to have him. He says, I'm not really sure that this is accurate, but it says Mickey Mantle in the thing. I don't think it's Mickey Mantle, but I do think it's very possibly my dear friend, Mr. Stuart Lead. Stu, how are you tonight, friend?
Freddie effing Freeman.
Bucky effing Dent,
why did they walk Mookie? Why did they walk Mookie?
Because you don't want to go righty versus lefty, or righty batter versus a lefty, pitcher in that situation. I'm going to try to find out a little 3-shot for us there. There we go. You don't want Cortez to face Betts, because he's a lefty versus Mookie batting righty.
It was just like a weird mood because Freddie was all upset about it.
Yeah.
Right? You saw it. He was like, all right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Did he just hit that right out like a wiffle ball?
Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Stu, were you watching the game at home tonight?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. And what did you think about Aaron Boone's late game management skills tonight as a Yankee fan?
Aaron Boone was okay. He did all right. I thought, basically, I didn't like that the pitcher came in. Did you see the shock on his face after that ball? He was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm ready for this.
Yeah. Hey, it's the World Series, by the way. You gotta join in.
Yeah, but I don't understand why he was picked to go in. They didn't have another pitcher. Yeah. I didn't understand that, to be honest with you, but he paid for it big time, right? He really did. It just seems like he just threw a little can of corn over there, right? And boom, gone.
Yeah, it was something.
Boone has great faces, though. He had great faces at the end. He was very upset, and that went a long way for Yankee fans, sure.
Yeah,
but no, it was a good game. It wasn't a great game. It was a good game, right? You know what I'm saying? It was about fireworks and Otani. Oh, good God, Otani.
Yeah, that guy, right?
I mean, Judge and Otani, if they could do something, it'd be great and really epic. But who do you got? Like, who's the other guy? Edmund?
Yeah, Tommy Edman, the National League Championship Series MVP.
That's what's great about the playoffs is that those guys, like a Billy Martin or this, that, the other, or these guys, pesky guys, come in and they change the whole series, right? And you sort of root with them, and it's these are the best kind of guys, right? They really are. They're fun. Sort of the underdogs that really sort of make an impact.
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you think you were going away?
I thought there was a pretty good chance the Yankees were going to win that one, especially after the Jazz Chisholm-bration in the.
Well, about time Chisholm did something, by the way. Thank God. Look at Ricky Henderson for once. It was great.
Yeah, right. Mitch, what is the deal with relief pitchers who can't hold a runner on base to save their lives? Why did this become like a hey, go ahead, steal all the way to third, we don't care kind of situation?
Well, when you also look at it, if you look at the pitch clock and the pitch clock's winding down and they got to throw the ball, and they can only throw to first base so many times, it's a simple calculation, and that actually gives the advantage to the base runner. So if you're down to 2 seconds, 1 second, he's going to throw home most likely. So, hey, you're going to get a 1 or 2 second jump to steal a base. This makes it advantage base runner. Hey, we Mick, or is it Mickey or Stu or Mickey Mantle? Sorry. Oh, God forbid. I thought I was seeing things because the last time I saw Mickey Mantle, he too was wearing sunglasses. I was wondering, is it the same?
I wasn't wearing them until Freeman hit the home run, and it was very hard for me. It's watery eyes. I don't like to show watery eyes on
I figured, like any good entertainer, you wear the glasses so people can't really see the emotions behind it. So I think it's a good look for you. But if the Yankees win tomorrow and you come back on, that means you got to lose the sunglasses. But if they lose, then please keep them on. We got a whole theme going on.
I know. We're very superstitious that way, baseball fans. Yes.
And Colin,
I might have to break it then. But
Colin,
if they win tomorrow, I'll wear pinstripes for you guys. And
good.
And I'll just, I'll be in a whole different demeanor. But I thought we were winning tonight. That's what hurts a little bit.
It was so close. It was super close. Yeah,
the superstitious direction is. Tonight I took Nancy out to Giuseppe's for dinner before all of this.
Sure.
And so I figured, okay, I'm going to have to take her out to Giuseppe's again tomorrow night.
This
wear the same clothes.
Yes.
And go through the whole same routine.
Yes.
Because we're supposed to.
This is the way. That is just definitely a must do, I think. You really, unfortunately, you have no choice. I think it's at least 3 or 4 more dinners there until
this little series of yours, which is paying a tremendous amount. So I'm appreciative of the money you are paying to have on.
Don't tell Stu.
Go help pay for all these dinners. I'm going to have to ask for a raise if we get into game 3 and 4.
Yes, exactly.
You can get 10% off. You can get 10% off at Giuseppe's.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think Giuseppe's just became our unofficial sponsor, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah,
isn't that how that works?
Who's pitching tomorrow, by the way? Who's twirling tomorrow? Is it Yamamoto?
Yamamoto for the Dodgers, and the Mets will counter with the Mets. The Yankees will counter with
Rodon. Is it Rodon?
I believe it's Carlos Rodon, right?
Yeah.
And he, he is a tricky task. I think he's been effective so far in the postseason, I think. And look, I would love for the Dodgers to go up 2-0, but as Amy was telling me when we were looking like we were going to lose this one, look, they just got to win 1 at home. So now that that's done, maybe they can go out tomorrow. You always wonder about that, like 4 and 5 day, rust shake off. Between the end of the championship series and the beginning of the World Series, it takes a little while to kind of get back into the swing of things. And now you've played in the World Series game. Tomorrow is nobody's first World Series game. The Dodgers got all their people out there that they wanted to get out for the most part. And then, we see how it goes. If Yamamoto can come through with a big outing, it would be nice to go back to the Big Apple up 2-0. But who knows? It's a long series, and I'll say the same prediction I had for the NLCS. The longer the series goes, the better I think it is for the Yankees, because of the Dodgers pitching does not have unlimited depth. they did use a lot of their guys tonight, and they're going to have to count on a lot of their guys. Mitch, you and I were we emailing before? No, maybe I was talking to somebody else about which game is going to be the bullpen game.
Game 4.
It's got to be game 4 now. You
Yeah.
can't come back in game 3 with the bullpen game because you used a lot of your leverage guys tonight.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a day or two, and you got to hope that Yamamoto can go 5 or 6. Dare I say 7? Probably not. They'll probably only let him do 6 if he's able to tomorrow. And then see where you're at. Obviously, Stu, you had to be happy seeing Giancarlo Stanton, returning to the familiar confines of hitting giant homers out of Dodger Stadium.
I tell you about Stanton. I really would like to see him hit a single. I don't know if it's possible. Can he hit it like a regular
only homers?
I don't understand. It's amazing.
He has a new show coming up on FX. Only homers in the building.
It's crazy.
That's coming soon.
It's like 2 bad swings and a homer. It's like that's what goes on. It's great.
I love that show.
Talk about 3 true outcomes, right? That's a strikeout, a walk, or a homer. I guess that's
it's incredible. But he has like better numbers than Ruth now. It's like he has like every 7 times a bat.
I know every time you see the stats, you're like, that's a pretty good list to be on.
Yeah, but he wins the MVP at like 2 base hits. Really, he got like 2 hits.
Well, he had 4 hits, 4 homers in the ALCS.
It's crazy.
So far, he's 1 hit, 1 homer in the World Series, and what about? And the one of the things, Stu, and maybe you've paid attention a little more to the New York media than I over the years. Tell me a little bit about how you think the New York media is going to respond to this game, and perhaps to Aaron Judge in particular, who has always seemed to me to be the one who is put under all the pressure. He is the guy. He's the Derek Jeter. He's the guy who everything good is good. Everything bad is his fault too.
They're going to heat him up. He's going to heat himself up as well, right? He knows he needs to do this. He knows he needs some big games. Yeah. He needs these images from YouTube for forever, right? In perpetuity, right? He just needs that kind of moment. He really does to really solidify his 99 retirement number, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And he's leveraging that way without a doubt. But they're not gonna kill him because they want to crush him because he's still beloved, right? He's not a bum. But god dang, are they gonna get a little like, come on, we need it, and we need it right now. Now we need it, not in June.
Right.
So I think that's a big deal. But I think he's gonna be on himself a lot as well. And I know he's the captain. And I don't know how much of a captain he is. He seems like a good morale guy, and of course he leads by example. But yeah, I just I'm hoping for him. I'm hoping he can just get a monumental hit like Soto did. All of a sudden Soto became Babe Ruth, and he got a home run. It was great, and obviously it was awesome. But it took away from Judge's thunder, and I think he needs to bring it back. The media, yes, are they going to be harsh? I don't think as harsh as I think they don't want to sort of break them down too much. They'll definitely question it, and they go, "We need you." But if he messes up tomorrow, I think it's going to get much more heated up, right? Especially if Stanton and Soto come through, right? Then those guys can, they step up to, for the call. Right. And I think that's something that Judge wants to get that, monkey off his back, certainly. So, but the media, I don't think they're going to kill him. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, that's good.
Couple more games, I think, though.
That's good. Scott Larson writes in, he heard it on the radio. ESPN radio, I assume, had the call. It'll be fun. Usually by the end of the night, MLB will put together like a tape of all the different calls, the home radio, visiting radio, TV, Spanish, whatever. And I'll be interested to hear.
That lulls you to sleep at night? Does that get you to sleep at night?
Tonight it will, baby. Tonight it will. That will be not bad at all. Scott says you might have to watch the replay tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to watch the replay, on the MLB app, just go to the 9th inning and watch from there, or the 8th inning or so about it. It was not a lot of action in the first 6 or 7 innings.
No, but I tell you what's interesting about these games, that everyone that's up is exciting. It's not even like there's a lull, so it's actually pretty. Even if there's not really action going on, there's potential all the time, right? Which is great. It's weird. Some games it's like it lags on forever, and sometimes it's like next thing you know, Judge is up 4 times without even like turning around. It's like, what the hell did that happen?
Right, exactly. Wow, did Mitch? one of the things I think we talked about in the last series, and that I think is going to be a real key for the Dodgers is even if you're not scoring runs, to keep the lineup moving, right? Because if you can get a runner on, two runners on an inning, that gets Ohtani at least one or two more at bats, or
Yeah.
gets him like a half inning away every time. Once that lineup cycles around, same thing with the Yankees. It's really incumbent on the 6, 7, 8 guys to keep the line moving so that 1, 2, 3 can get up there. And even if the outcomes are not like super great, you really got to work a walk or, peck away or just, lean into a ball over the plate, do what you can any way possible to get on.
Well, our Mickey Mantle guest brought up a great point. When you look at each lineup and you say, okay, is there an easy out anywhere?
Yeah.
You look at the bottom number 9 hitter for the Dodgers, and that's their Mr. October, and he just grinds and finds a way. Kiki Hernandez, and then Edmund being what it is. There are no easy outs. So what it is, you're taxing every pitcher. But what I thought was impressive, fellas, in this was the starting pitcher. I mean, Flaherty, from what his last time out was, but he pitched really well at Dodger Stadium. So he's just not a good road pitcher. But Buehler is just the opposite. He's a good road pitcher, and he'll open Game 3 in New York. But that was it was a pitcher's game. The first 4 or 5 innings is like, wow, and there's one mistake, and that was Stanton. But other than that, it was just kind of like these pitchers are dominating the game. And so for what we watched in the Mets series, this was a complete 180 from that series. The lead changes a few times in the Mets series with the Dodgers, once in the last game. And so you just had to find, okay, who's going to get that one hit? But
Right.
it can be anyone in the lineup. And so you have to say, well, is the bottom 3 in the lineup for either team have the ability to get on base? Yeah, for the top 3 guys to come. Yes, they just have to keep being these pieces in a puzzle that keep moving and keep piecing. And that's what makes it so entertaining is, oh God, the last 3 guys are coming up. They all bat collectively together 200. That is not the case.
Yeah.
These are sparks that can just win a game with one swing of the bat, and both teams have it.
Yeah. We were talking earlier maybe about some managerial questioning of some decisions, and this is going to get lost in the Freeman excitement. But go back to the 10th, top of the 10th, when Tommy Edman was still in at shortstop. Now, one of the roster changes the Dodgers made before the World Series started was to reactivate Miguel Rojas, their starting shortstop, who is supposed to be able to play in this series. Maybe he's not quite ready yet, but they think he will be for games 3 and on or something. But in terms of like a defensive replacement, I think he would be an upgrade over Edman for sure at short. And when I saw Edman kind of not really boot, but kind of muff the potential double play, I thought, God, they reactivated their best fielder, but didn't have him in a critical situation. I hope that doesn't come back to bite them. On the other hand, I was sad to see that Kevin Kiermaier was deactivated for the World Series. KK, a great guy, a longtime Blue Jay. I'm a big Blue Jay fan, in addition to my Dodger fandom. So I've been following him on defense. That guy, the ball's hit anywhere in the outfield, he's got a chance at it, which is, I hope the Dodger defense will continue to continue on, and maybe get a little better. Go ahead, Mitch.
Colin, the big point there was, as it pronounced, it's not Pages. How's he pronounce his last name?
Andepas.
Pages. Yeah, thank you. You say it. I'll just say the other guy that plays center field. That's easier on my U.S. vocabulary. Is that if he didn't have the series he had towards the end of the Mets series, KK would have made it in. But you have to say, hey, he has something. So we know we can get a little bit more offense, and we want to have that. So I think that's why they had to make the decision outside of obviously losing another reliever. But then you got Vezina back, which is like, that's great.
Yeah. So and Gratterall.
Yeah. And they have so many
different
arms. But, tonight, as I said, for the moves they needed, the pitching they needed to get, and to get the outing that Flaherty was able to put together, hey, that takes a lot of leverage negative leverage off the Dodgers bullpen. So they positioned it all well, and they got rid of and out of it in the 10th.
Yeah. Stu, for the Yankees going forward, what do you do to pick up the pieces tomorrow?
Look, this is what you need to do. Look, you got to forget that they should have won the game, so that's okay. They have that momentum going through. They didn't get crushed. And they, look, they got a bad break at the end, at the 10th, so they'll come back strong tomorrow. I think they're going to take it with some big hitting tomorrow. I think so. I think it's going to be a little more fireworks. And, I think they're pretty confident that they could win in Los Angeles. And I think they definitely need to and go back to the Bronx and really kick some ass. So I think that'd be a great deal. I think it's going to be a great game tomorrow, but I think the Yankees come out and take it away. Not even steal it, but I think they win by 3 or 4 runs. I think so.
Certainly a possibility. And all it does take is, as we've seen in this game, that kind of open up a 3 or 4 run lead, and Dave will go to the low leverage bullpen guys, and then it's a matter of, can the Yankee pitching hold to continue it to make it kind of a non-game, so to speak?
Yeah, sure.
When you've got a full bullpen game coming up in game 4, how much do you want to spend to win game 2? Now, Dave and I have different opinions about this. I am very much of it's a World Series game. Any opportunity you have to lock it down, you lock it down. Even if you have to burn an arm now, you try, they're so precious. Each victory is so precious.
Yeah.
That being said, I was, it worked out well in game, or in the Mets series and the LCS. And, given the evidence and the mathematics and, the Dodgers, known reliance on statistics and the like, I don't expect that their approach will change in the World Series. So it would not surprise me at all to see a Yank. Excuse me. Sorry. The guys. The stream tonight is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew.
Good. Now we're Giuseppe's and Mountain Dew. It's nice that we're bringing along new sponsors. I would like to speak to our sales department.
Oh boy, so would I. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I definitely think the Dodgers have to be careful about a letdown tomorrow. The series is not over. This was not, people, if you remember in game 1 of the 88 World Series, the Kirk Gibson game, who was the game 2 pitcher? Who knows? Who remembers? Was it Oral Hershiser?
Was it?
No.
In game 2?
Was it Bueller? What was it? Started with a B, right? Back then, they were
Tim Belcher?
Tim Belcher. That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know. I think because didn't Hershiser pitch games 2 and 5 in that series?
Oh, I thought he opened, so I don't know.
No, because he'd pitched game 7 against the Mets. Yeah, and there wasn't this 1 week delay.
Not as old as you, Colin, so I can't go back.
Oh, dear God, please. Happy. All
right, fellas. Look, I got Billy Martin and Whitey Ford calling me. I got to go out.
Okay. You're going to go carousing, I'm sure.
I'll see you tomorrow. Glasses off.
All right. We look forward to it.
Smiles.
Stuart Lead, ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Lead / Mickey Mantle. Thanks for joining Yankee Fan. We appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow.
You have a great night, guys.
Thanks, Stu. Take care, bud. All right. So that's Stuart Lead with the Yankee perspective. He's still with us. Stu, thanks for coming back. We appreciate it.
I thought you were doing an intro for me. I heard something.
You know what? I'll cancel you. How about that? Moose. We love you. What a good guy that is. Stuart Lead calling in on the night his poor Yankees had a little bit of a difficulty. Got 2 bad pitches. Well, I guess 1 okay pitch, and 1 really bad pitch. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-0 Dodgers World Series lead. Mitch, I saw, did you catch the pregame Ron Howard introduction at all?
No, I didn't see the pregame, no.
Do a search online for Ronnie Howard's big tape piece to set up the series. I was excited to find out Ron is connected to the Apple TV documentary that apparently is in the works about this series.
Okay.
They're doing like an all-access behind-the-scenes thing that's supposed to debut maybe by spring training. And so, boy, they got his whole pitch tonight was about drama and characters and challenges and surprises, and all of a sudden, you had that in this game.
Is Tom Hanks in this movie too?
You know what? I hope. New York, we've had a problem.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
he will be the manager and says, "There's no crying in baseball."
Well, and there's no quit in the Yankees. We all know it's exciting to be excited about game one and a big win and a walk off, but it's a
It's
long series, and we'll see how it goes. Now, Mitch, I know that you desperately are trying to watch the USC football game.
no, not anymore.
Are you sure?
I've jumped off the white horse, and just said that
What
I
league are they in now?
say what again?
What league are they in now? Why are
Oh,
they playing?
they're in the Big Ten. As I said, they've
Uh,
lost 4 games by a whopping 14 points. Oh, let's just call them all in basically the last play of the game.
right.
Um, they could easily, obviously, be undefeated, but they couldn't make stops. So
Ah,
all of that aside, it is a major disappointment. Defense is better, offense isn't scoring as much. But Riley, their head coach, is definitely a target. But how many millions do you want to buy him out in which to bring?
exactly.
I look at it this way. Pete Carroll is teaching class at USC. I think you just promote the professor back onto the field, and he'll bring a lot of assistants, and
Sure.
and continue to pay him his teaching stipend. But
Yeah.
at the same point, I just it's LA, and you got to win, you got to entertain,
Well, and
and
there were so many things going on tonight, right? It was the event apocalypse or whatever tonight
yeah,
between the
and the
Lakers.
Lakers won 120.
Lakers won. All right.
They were down by 18, and they came back.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Exactly.
so that's a good night for LA sports so far. We'll see if USC can keep it going.
They won't.
Well, we'll see.
I just sorry.
So, was there anything else that you found surprising about tonight's game, Mitch? Was there anything else that you were like, "Huh, I didn't see it turning out that way," but
I was just mostly surprised at any time the Dodgers get 4 or 5 solid innings from a starter. I said,
yeah.
"Wow,
Yeah.
that," and because then that gives you the leverage bullpen that you want, and so it's kind of like, wow, he's really pitching well. I just thought it was, again, you get two big teams, their first time on the stage with each other, and you're just trying. It's like two heavyweights. You just go, hey,
Yeah.
just kind of throwing a punch here and here, and is there going to be a knockout here or there, and then who gets up? And I just thought it was just kind of playing that way out. I didn't see realistically that there was going to be this drama, but at the same
Yeah.
point, both teams are set up for a lot of drama to be able to have good things happen from an offensive standpoint. But I really thought, I mean, outside of just saying, oh, it's just the Dodgers will come back in game two. When it was 3-2, yeah, you need some big stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And, and the Yankees pitching was not able to solidify and hold it. And again, you have a Dodgers offense, which is truly about the best in baseball. And you just kind of, hey, they're good to their last out. Okay, they have
Yeah.
26 outs. They still got one more to go. And that's what Dave Roberts has always said. Okay, well, as long as we have one more out to go,
Yeah.
we can win. And
Well,
it was just, it's fun to be a fan. Just like on the other end of it, it's like, it's the highs and lows. It's a drug.
yeah. Well, certainly, for me watching, it is. I was surprised at how involved I was.
Yeah.
I've been playing it very cool this playoffs, very like, yeah, they're good. It's gonna go okay. But then tonight I was kind of a nervous wreck. I guess I don't know. My fandom came out very strongly tonight, and when the Yankees went up in the 10th, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it did not feel great. But I do think, I think definitely, the Dodgers started the game 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, no big hits early, attributed to a little rust, a little nerves, whatever it is. As the series goes on, I expect we'll get that Dodger high octane offense coming back a little more. You talked about the comeback ability. I remember the night they scored, 7 in the ninth to beat the Rockies or something. You can
Yeah.
always,
Yes.
you can't ever count them out.
No.
There's always going to be a chance, and I don't know. It's looking good. 3 more to go, as they said on the scoreboard after the walk off, and that's a pretty fun way to start off a World Series. Overall, a pretty great game.
Well, if you would have said 6 months ago, hey, 3 more wins and you win it all, I think anyone would have taken it then.
Absolutely.
But you also have to give. I mean, Cole is one of when he's on, he's
Oh,
one
yeah.
of baseball's best pitchers, and you say, you know what, he is set up and he was going, and the Dodgers, and then Flaherty was matching him except for the one pitch. Okay, so it's only 2-1. That's absolutely nothing. Both pitchers are finding and getting outs. And again, if Cole's one of the starters and the Yankees don't win the game he starts, that gives a lot more cred to the Dodgers. In a way, you beat the ace, you beat the team throwing their ace. And okay, because those are the kind of wins you have to say, we got to be guaranteed our ace is going to win one or two. And he didn't win one. And now he's going to be, obviously, when he comes back again, and that kind of situation is going to be a lot more intense than what this is, because it could be a situation where, hey, we might not be in this anymore. Granted, it'll be back home. But to your point, Colin, tomorrow, both teams come out, you play this game, you have to have a quick loss of memory, and then you just come out. Both teams did what they wanted to do. Okay, one pitch, bullpen, you can move that around. But if you get starters to go 4 or 5, which is good, so the bigger story is Yamamoto, can he at least get, let's say 70 pitches in, and not in one inning, but over the course of, let's say, 4 innings. And that just changes up their approach. And, the offense is going to do something. And, but you just beat their very best pitcher on a night that looked like the Yankees would win. So you have to say, okay, let's bring it again tomorrow. And if the Dodgers win, no matter what happens in New York, it's going to come back to LA.
Yeah. Were you surprised that Booney pulled Cole when he did?
I don't know what his pitch count is. I think, what did Eddie thrown, 80 or 90? I don't remember the amount of pitches. But I just think that if you're looking at it, okay, I got to bring him back in, 3 days rest or whatever it might be. And then you get down to it and you say, okay, how much are you going to trust your bullpen? The Yankee bullpen could not match the Dodgers bullpen. So you have to say, okay, what am I going to throw out there? Boy, that's, again, it's, you ask if the guy's feeling good. Do you got another 15 pitches in you, which is kind of the average for an inning? And if he says, hey, I'm a little fatigued, okay, then you make the change. But if he's not fatigued, again, this is, every game you look at, it's kind of like, this is the one. Yeah. This is the one. This is the one. So you just come out tomorrow and say, hey, if this is a final game, what are you going to do? Because you're not going to get another chance to, let's say, win the second game, because there won't be another second game. So you go at it as saying, okay, this is like a 7th game, and I got to bring people. And because what you have in big series like this, Colin, in any sport, the adrenaline ability for guys to ride, this is the all or nothing round. You just go, you have plenty of time to rest. You still want to be analytical and strategic, but at the same point is, when you come out to play and especially pitch, it's like, there's another level of energy that just is kicking in. So you can come out and use the same bullpen guy in a 7-game, 6-game series 3-4 times, because they'll just get it. But if you just continue to keep the other team off balance, so not seeing the same guy 2 at bats in a row, you're constantly adjusting. So will training come back tomorrow? Probably not. So you save him for game 3, but you still had a lot of guys that you saved. So again, it will dictate itself on if you can get your starting pitcher to at least get 4 innings in.
Yeah. Well,
your thoughts? What do you think?
Look, I think obviously the choices that both Dave and Aaron Boone are going to be faced with are rapidly second guessable. I mean, every single one is going to be put under a microscope, and especially, as we were talking with Stu a little bit about in the New York media market, it will be crazed, as you might imagine. Now, speaking of the New York media market, I think we're going to be joined by a special guest from New York. I'm pretty sure. I know, right? I thought I saw her. I think I do see her, and there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring her on. We love her. We know her. We know her. We love her. We can't live without her. It's TV's my sister, Alana Campbell.
Oh,
Alana, how are you?
Yay. Wow. Now, hey,
I got to go to bed.
You've got to go to bed? What are you talking about?
I just don't know how that's possible at this point.
It's not. Well, let's see. It's only 12:40 there on the East Coast. Now, did you make it to the taqueria for tonight's Dodgers game?
Yes.
And the taqueria winning streak continues.
Yeah. It does.
So you got it. That's where you're going for the rest of the series, right? As much as you can.
I might have to backtrack on some plans in Hoboken tomorrow night after my game because as a member of the media, I got to work tomorrow.
Oh no,
So,
that can't be permitted.
yeah, I have responsibilities here, brother,
I understand.
and that's why I can't stay long. This is a real 5 good minutes.
A real strong 5 minutes. Okay, we'll just blow you in for a very strong 5 minutes. Tell me what it was like in the bar when Freeman went deep tonight. How did it feel? What was the energy?
It was, and listen, for a little context here. I saw my girl Katrina tonight. My origin story of how I ended up at Taqueria St. Mark's Place is that I was walking through Union Square the summer of 2017. I saw someone with a really cool Herschel Dodgers backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, that's a really cool backpack. Where did you get it? And she went, oh, they did this collab. It's on MLB Shop. They're all there. It's awesome. I said, that's amazing. I'm a lifelong Dodgers fan. I'm from LA. And she goes, oh my God, me too. Did you know that there's a Dodgers bar? And I said, there's a Dodgers bar. And she goes, well, it's a taqueria. And of course it's a taqueria. So I have been going to Taqueria St. Mark's Place since the 2017. I think I went to the last regular season game. And then I started going during the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I have watched many a game there. They haven't all been winners.
Right.
But tonight I think it was the loudest I've ever heard it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I have video, and this is where I wish I don't know Restream well enough that I could just like share my phone and give you the minute and 30 seconds of absolute ecstasy that erupted in this bar, because it was one of the coolest shared moments I think I've ever participated in as a sports fan.
Well, then send me a link if you can. I'll try to sneak it on before the end of the stream, even if we let you go to sleep. Tell me real quick. One of my favorite experiences in New York was back. I was in the city for an October working on a History Channel show back in the day, and just walking around at about 9:00 at night local when the Yankees were in the playoffs and hearing the entire soundtrack of the city. Everyone was listening to the game. You could hear when, there was a big hit, you would hear reaction like out my hotel window. I could hear, the whole thing happening. And it was just a really amazing experience. Did you get any of the vibe of the city after Freeman's devastating blow to New York Yankee hopes?
Well, so you have to remember, because I had to remember as I was walking back to the hotel, I was working in New Jersey, so I had driven to New Jersey. I drove straight to the East Village. So I was walking down St. Mark's Place. And I remembered, oh, right, it's Halloween weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
So there were plenty of people in Yankees garb, but there were also a lot of people in varying states of dress or undress.
I see.
Because Halloween weekend in the East Village.
That's right. Did you see anyone doing a tribute to Lin-Manuel Miranda's new Warriors concept album, dressed up as the baseball Furies from the Warriors?
No, if I had taken a left and gone to Alphabet City, then probably.
Probably, I guess.
But I had to swing it on home and get back uptown.
I see.
But what I will say is, you can imagine how electrifying the moment was. And then they always play I Love LA in the bar after the game.
Nice.
And then I think we might have even kicked it back over to Freddie's post-game interview for a hot second. Before we now have entered Not Like Us into the playlist.
Oh, nice.
It was a nice touch. And then we went to California Love. So, but I was about 2/3 of the way down the block, and I thought I heard a roar from Taqueria and was kind of like, I bet that sounded cool wherever people in the vicinity were hearing it, because obviously you're getting the inverse reaction of the rest of the city.
Exactly.
Right. And listen, I'm
isolated.
sure we don't have time to dissect all of this because I'm on I got 45 seconds left.
I
But
love you. Thank you for timing yourself. I appreciate guests who time their own segment.
Never stops. I was texting with one of my friend Lauren, who used to live in LA. We've gone to Dodger games together. She goes, anyone else? But she's from New York.
Right.
So she's like, anyone else, I'd be cheering for the Dodgers, but it's my Yankees. So our text right before when they walked Mookie, I was like, well, this is a choice. Because Freddie was due, man. We had to know that ankle was A-okay.
Yeah.
And that ankle was just fine.
Yeah, he certainly
that
got
ankle
it.
Was better than just fine. That triple was awesome. And it was
God.
Freddie's back and
wow,
praise the Lord.
I thought he was going to have to miss game 2 after the triple. Mitch, you got one quick question, then I got to let my sister get to sleep.
Well, sister Alana, I have no idea if we've ever met. It would have been in probably my former life, which I've had many of them. So I'm going to continue to say have as many lives as a cat. Have we ever met? And if not,
no,
I don't think so.
It's a pleasure, Mitch. I watched you a little bit the other night when you got on with David after I guess what would have been game 6, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, Mitch. Mitch.
What do you do in New York? What do you do in New York?
Oh, I work at CBS Sports. I'm a director.
Oh, God bless you. Oh, see, no wonder this.
So I have a game at 3:30 tomorrow.
3:30 Eastern.
That's correct.
So you'll be done by Dodger game time, theoretically.
Yes, that's not the problem. I just I gotta sleep and I gotta feed some cats and I gotta go to Jersey. My game is at UConn. It's a long story.
Listen, we'll let you go, but I do appreciate you chiming in to give us the New York City perspective on a great night for the Dodgers and a very interesting night for New York City. Keep an eye on the vibe, and maybe you can join us for a little more chat tomorrow night after a 2-0 Dodgers lead. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Fingers crossed.
I could probably make myself available. We can look into that.
Let's see how
I gotta see. This is where it becomes really hard because I had plans. You make the plans before you think that you don't want to jinx it.
Right.
And now I don't want to back out of the plans. I don't want to be that person.
Right.
I'd be that person.
Listen, Dodgers in the World Series, a lot of things can be in flux.
Well, Colin, if I might interject, is if the Dodgers don't win tomorrow, we now have someone to blame, so we could do that.
Exactly.
Have quick rapid fire? Have we gone around and said what we think the series will end up at? Have we done our own Poppy, A-Rod, Jeter?
I'll do my Poppy, A-Rod, Jeter right now. Dodgers in 6 was my prediction. Same basic structure as the Mets series. Split at home, 2 out of 3 in New York. Clinch in 6. Mitch, what's yours?
7. Dodgers
in 7.
Who's your MVP?
Go ahead, Colin.
Not Tommy Edman. I'm gonna throw in a vote for Mookie. I think he's still gonna have a big series, and especially when it gets back to New York, I think his experience playing there with the Red Sox will come into play. He knows how to play in New York. He's the guy who had the best series in New York this year was Teoscar. He was just insane during that early season meeting between the Yankees and Dodgers. So, but I still like Mookie. He's due.
I'll say Freeman.
Freeman, if he is completely healthy the rest of the series and is able to continue to throw in a couple of doubles or something, that would be nice.
Because so far he's an MVP, so I'm just going to be the total bandwagon guy.
Runner. Yeah. All right. Alana, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Mwah.
You didn't ask me who my MVP
is. Yeah, go ahead.
You're my MVP, so go ahead. You give us your pick.
My heart says Kike.
No.
My mind says Freddie Freeman.
And no votes for Shohei in this group. That's interesting.
You know what? We shouldn't ask for too much too soon from him.
Yeah.
Right?
What's his 6th or 7th year in the big leagues? I don't think it's too soon.
No, I mean as a Dodger. I just mean we've got what's this is year 1 of 7, right? 10? What? What is time?
We
I
all
can't.
talked, we all talked about when the deal was signed. What does success look like for a 10-year deal? How many World Series do they have to win in order for the deal to be considered a success? Mine over under was at 3. It would be great if they won one in year 1. Great, but yeah, this is a 10-year project. 10 of hitting, 9 of pitching, maybe 8 of pitching, maybe 7 of pitching. Who knows how long the arm will last?
Right.
But we will see how it goes.
I think it like as the DH, I think it's also very hard to expect him to be MVP as simply the DH.
Yeah, but if there's a guy who
But
could do it,
he could.
I mean, he proved it during the regular season. He continues this 18 for 22 with runners in scoring position or whatever it is. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's
Yeah, I mean,
see how it goes.
he did the job tonight, so
It looked good. All right.
everybody did their job tonight. And now I have to go do my job tomorrow.
We love you. Thank you for joining, as always, and we will hope to talk to you tomorrow, okay?
All right.
Nice
Love
to
you.
meet you.
Great to meet you, Mitch.
Bye.
Good night. Alana Campbell, director with CBS, and a previous user of Ron Howard for opening a major sporting event. She, I believe, booked Ronnie for the Final Four. Was it Final Four or Super? It's Final Four.
So there truly is tremendous
Super Bowl.
talent.
I don't know. She'll text me.
Great talent in the Campbell household.
Oh, listen, any talent I have has long since been exceeded by that girl, who is on her way to, directing a Super Bowl someday. If you ask me,
What's
she is.
the age difference between the two of you?
She is about 42 years younger than me. I'm not really sure how that.
So she has a lot of upside. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a very high ceiling, Mitch. A very high ceiling. So yeah. Well, look. We've kind of run through all the comments. We didn't get too many tonight. It was great to see David Greenspan chime in. Greenie, thank you for Greenie. Who calls you Greenie? I don't call you Greenie. I call you Gree.
That's an thing, yeah.
So happy for Freddie. We appreciate that. He did deal with a lot and has been dealing with a lot, not just on the field, but also off the field.
Yeah.
And, talk about a guy who deserves some really great things to happen for him. 100% agree. 1,100,000,000% agree. Seems to be the real deal, and could not want it. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. It's good, good to see.
Colin.
Yeah. Yes.
I never mean to step on you. It's kind of like I thought you were. Oh, sorry. So, Colin's 3 keys to success tomorrow. What are the 3 things? Colin's 3 keys.
Number 1, no letdown. Don't lay back and just think, well, now we got our 1 game. Number 2, Yamamoto. If he can go 6, I think the Dodgers will win. If he goes 3 1/3, 4 1/3, I don't like our chances. Number 3, Ohtani. I need to see some more activity out of him. Ohtani and Betts, frankly. Top of the lineup, needs to set the table and just continue to produce and get a little more comfortable. I thought Ohtani was a little overeager tonight, swinging a couple of first pitches. I know you hear this a lot on the broadcast. Well, they tried to ambush him, jump him right on the first pitch. And of course, Freddie Freeman ambushed a ball right out of the ballpark. So you can't say that that's not a valid strategy, but so many times I feel like take a moment. There was a time, I think prior to that, I can't remember if it was Kike or somebody else who had a first pitch pop up that really deflated a potential Dodger rally, when things had been, you get these moments in a game where it's, you get a runner on and then get a second runner on and it's building and building and building. And you get the next runner, the next batter comes up and swings at the first pitch and pops out to shortstop.
Yeah.
I was like, well, wait a minute. Take a moment. You can hear the energy in the ballpark. You can feel what's going on. Take let it build. Let the pressure continue.
It's like a good bottle of wine. You got to let this thing breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And as the Dodgers have been talked about, and one of the things that Muncy has been very disciplined and being much better this year than, let's say, his previous years is you got to throw him a strike.
Yeah.
He's not going to chase. So if you want to say, okay, I'm going to take a pitch or 2, and if those are strikes, fine, but I'm going to make him throw me another strike. I'm going to sit on it. So the Dodgers historically, they don't jump on early pitches. They're very disciplined. So tonight, hey, they jumped on a couple, but when you look at the strategy is, and you're seeing what a guy's going to throw you, he's going to start you with this pitch. And I think that's one of the things that Dave Roberts was talking about in the post game. You saw it. Freeman knew exactly what is going to be coming because he started Ohtani. Was it Ohtani the same way?
Yeah.
And they had done the research. Says, hey, jump on his first pitch. So I said all the analytics, but the Dodgers are usually a very patient team. But when you look at it, and we can analyze everything. And after all, we are subject matter experts. We're fans of each other and Dodgers. It's just, hey, a good game. They got one.
Yeah.
And okay, as you point, Yamamoto is the key, as is any starting pitcher. But more so to the Dodgers' vulnerability is they got to at least get a guy through 4 minimum. If you get 6 out of Yamamoto, I mean, that's a blessing, but at least 4. And if he only gives up a couple, that's okay because, the Dodgers can score you 5 or 7 runs a game.
I seem to recall that Yamamoto had some pretty good success against the Yankees in the start that he threw in New York. But of course, he did throw out his arm that game. So hopefully he can keep it under control a little bit tomorrow. David Greenspan keeping an eye on other media for us and pointing out that Yankee analysts were super angry with Booney for going with Nestor Cortez. Well, easy to be angry now. Of course, he gets Freeman to pop out, and Booney's a genius. But the pitch was not executed.
Well, again, you're looking at a guy who hasn't been in a game for a month or a little more than a month. And you throw him into the biggest moment. I'm thinking, why him when you have another left-hander that you can go to who's actually pitched in some games? That was an interesting move. And again, if it works, God, what took you so long? If it doesn't work, here we go.
Yeah, that may be one of those I want to get him in and I want to see what he can do. And if he gives up a grand slam, oh, well, it's only the first game. But it's just demoralizing. I mean, you had the lead. It wasn't tied. You had the lead. I mean, that's when it's a lead changing homer to win the game. That's even, I think a little more,
And then you look at, bets. You can look at maneuvering. It's a chess game now. But do you have a shutdown right-hander you could have brought in? Hey, I'm going to go straight ahead at bets because I don't want historically one of the league's best hitters to come up because even with one leg, he's still better than most. Pick which one. So if he doesn't have a right-hander he thinks can really shut bets down, okay, do you have a left-hander that can want to go after Freeman? I would rather go after Betts than go after Freeman, just the law of averages.
I guess. I mean, it's tough, I do remember seeing this graphic, and as David's pointing out, Booney liked Nestor's numbers against Ohtani, and I think it was 3 for 12 or something. There was, it wasn't destroying him or anything, but such a small sample size, but it's a kind of a reminder of the old saying, well, pick your poison. Ohtani, Betts, or Freeman. At the end of the day, it's still poison. And tonight, the Yankees drank the poison. They picked it. And
which of the 3 MVPs do you want to take on?
Yeah. It's 2 for 12. David reminds me, 2 for 12. So pretty good results against Ohtani. And then, again, a weird ended in a weird at bat that it ended up, kind of acting as almost a sacrifice fly, moving runners over while making an out. And getting the Yanks to within 1 out of taking Game 1 of the World Series. But as they have, fought off elimination and come back against Cleveland and other teams, well, tonight was the night that they were on the short end of that, and we got a pretty dramatic walk-off from...
And Colin, trivia for you. In 1988, 2 outs, which Dodger worked the count from 1-2 to get a walk to allow Kirk Gibson to come up? I'm taking it. I know back to your childhood now.
I know who the runner was. Was the batter also Mike Davis or not?
Yes,
Mike Davis. Yeah,
he was at 1-2, 1 strike away, and he worked the walk.
Yeah.
Whoa! And if he doesn't do that, obviously we don't have this story. So
yeah.
What if? Hey, good one. You got that right.
Thank you.
For someone half my age, I didn't think that was going to come. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've rambled on about an hour now on a game that was
Thank you.
really fun and a great night for Dodger fans. And hopefully, we get a good World Series. I'd of course be happy with 3 more Dodger blowouts, but for the sake of the game of baseball and the health of the sport, it's always fun to see the best players on the biggest stage. Be super interested to see what the ratings are, as the decline of the World Series over the last 10 years has been pretty well cataloged by a lot of sports media reporters, as the World Series numbers have just continually decreased. I'll be very fascinated to see if the Ohtani and Judge showdown reverses that. I know definitely MLB will be looking at much larger international numbers, and that is so much of the market these days. We were talking with Amy's sister about how the Dodgers Ohtani deal is basically paying for itself
It
in
is.
marketing and commercials, ad sales to Japan and other, finance opportunities, that the money he's getting really is,
Well,
hardly
how
anything.
Colin, the first tonight, a live camera at a bar in Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
who would have thought? I
Right?
mean, that's just part of the ambiance that goes and the theater that goes with all this.
Yeah.
And did tonight just kind of have that? Okay, one game in the first act. It was cool. It was cool. And what's really nice is, now let's get into the psychological aspect of all this. We live in a society that obviously is in with a lot of noise politically and what the world is. Tonight was a focus of 2 classy organizations that just kind of made you forget all the other things that are going on, even if you're not a fan of both of them, just because both organizations carry themselves with tremendous dignity and respect, and they're classy. And it just gave us a chance to breathe a little bit,
Yeah.
as opposed to all the things we wake up to. Oh, this is happening, that's happening. And so it was almost therapeutic in a way.
Yeah. It was a nice reprieve from the
Yeah.
outside world, no
Yeah.
doubt. Well, Mitch, thank you again for joining us. We will
Love
have
it.
you. Will we see you tomorrow night, I hope?
Of course, I'll be
Yeah.
here every night, because after all, I put my therapist on hold because you're filling in for that. So
Well,
we're good.
good. Happy to provide a therapeutic output for you, Mitch, my dear friend. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate it. And we will see you again, I'm guessing, tomorrow night then.
Yeah, same bat channel, same bat whatever. Yeah,
Same
really.
bad time. We'll try to get on a little quicker after the end of the game, if it's not like a complete madhouse of celebration and running around and knocking things over. And there was some spillage in our house. I'm not going to lie. Don't let Emily know when she gets back from the Taylor Swift skate
Well,
night. But
I bring the kids on tomorrow, because I see them in
oh
some
yeah,
other you do, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of like who it's like being on an elevator, and being on your shows like being in the elevator, and then the door opens up. Who's coming in?
who
Who's coming?
knows? It was
Exactly.
really exciting. I didn't know if Stu was going to make it tonight. I had texted my sister. She's like, I'm driving back from New Jersey. I don't know if I'll make it, but it was very nice to get some other people. Maybe we can convince David Greenspan to rejoin us tomorrow night for a little New Yorker perspective.
Yes.
As well.
And as I said, it's all entertaining. It's kind of like, it's not whose line is it anyway, it's who's coming in anyway. So hey, look forward to it. You're a cool dude, and thank you for having this opportunity that we can interact with each other.
Oh,
It's so much fun. Thank you.
Emily is watching.
Oh,
She knows about the spillage. Sweetie, I'm cleaning it up, I promise.
yes.
It was
And,
not
and
that big a deal.
I'm in San Luis Obispo, and I have nothing to do with it. But
Mitch is completely
please,
clean.
yes, please blame me if you need to.
All
I'm here
right.
for you.
Uh,
Okay,
Mitch Massey, Central Coast
I'll see you tomorrow.
sportscaster, legend, as I bill him. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All
Sleep.
right. Thank you, Mitch. You're the best. Well, let's see. I did get sent the movie from Auntie Alana. Let's see if I can share it. That's. Oh my goodness. She actually got the moment. All right. Well, I might be able to screen share this bad boy. This would be very exciting. Let me see if I can do that. Who knows? We'll find out. It'll be kind of exciting. Screen share. Ooh, Alana. Thank you for sending this. Can I screen share? Anybody screen share? Someone? Let's see. Can I screen share this? How exciting is it to watch a live stream where a man sits around and just tries to discover if he can screen share something? I don't know that I can with the current setup here. Let me go to this button. And in the meantime, if you have any comments or questions, I certainly would love to hear them from you. Let's see. Open with QuickTime Player. Can I screen share the QuickTime Player? That would be nice. I think that would be nice. Maybe. No, can't do it that way. How about, what about here? Aha. So what if I put this into a Chrome tab and then screen shared it from Chrome? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's put this right here. This better be a good video. That's all I gotta say. Better be a good video. Here about here. File. Uh-oh. I hear people joining. Open file. Oh, wait a minute. Stay with me, people. Stay with me. Open. Done. Oh, no, it's not going to do it. All right, listen. I suck. It took that long to tell you that I suck. Wasn't able quite to get that to work, but Alana, thank you for sending it in. And we will maybe lead off tomorrow's stream with it, or maybe we'll do a pregame stream tomorrow and share the magic of the moment, which would be great. Now I need to do this here and sign off for tonight because, baby, we're done. I don't know that there's much more that can be done because, ladies and gentlemen, the Dodgers have left the building. Freddie Freeman sending Dodger fans into a state of ecstasy. Just good times. Good times for Dodger fans. I know there's a button here that says end stream. I'm going to find it. You know I am. I will. I promise. Okay. And that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And we'll see you soon. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Sorry that I really wanted to get that video on and I wasn't able to do it. So that's why this is all kind of sucked for a little bit. But we will catch you next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good night. Hold on. I think the holy shit at the end is what really sold it for me. That was good stuff, Alana. I'm glad we finally got that on. So hopefully if you were watching and you left the stream running and then you came back, that was there waiting for you. All right. Now for real. Good night. Good stuff, Alana. Thank you for watching tonight's live stream. This now concludes